If you've been feeling like you're wasting away creating social media posts that don't get any traction, then you're going to love today's episode. Hi, I'm Liz Stapleton from ElizabethStapleton.com and host of the Blogger Breakthrough Summit. Welcome to the Blogger Breakthrough Summit podcast. In today's episode, you're going to learn 3 ways to get more engagement on your social media posts. Jerry Potter from 5 Minute Social Media shared these tips during the 2021 Blogger Breakthrough Summit, which, by the way, if you missed the summit, if you stay tuned to the end of the show, you can learn how to get access. For now, let's go ahead and dive in.
Most common social media problems that I hear about from people. Number one, I have no reach and or engagement. Because if nobody's seeing your posts, they're not engaging, or both, well, your social media is kind of dead in the water, right? You're posting and nothing's happening. It's like being an unpaid social media intern in your own business. Let's start with the first one. Up first, I have no reach or engagement. And we usually blame social media algorithms for this, right? The algorithm just won't show my posts to people. And a lot of times people will ask me, how do you beat the algorithm? How do I hack the algorithm? And I wish that I could tell you that Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, sent me a text message once upon a time saying, all you got to do is post 3.46 times per week and we'll show all your posts to all your followers. Unfortunately, that's not true. But here's the thing. The algorithm can't be beat, okay? It can't be hacked. But it can be romanced. And I say this because you have to work with the algorithm, charm it, be friends with it. Otherwise, you shouldn't even bother posting. If you are not going to post in a way that the algorithm helps you, then don't bother. You will remain an unpaid social media intern in your business, as I did for a really long time. So we're talking about engagement, reach, and sales today. So let's talk about engagement versus reach. So engagement is exactly what it sounds like, people engaging on your posts, liking, commenting, sharing, clicking the link through to your blog, all of that. And reach is the number of people who see your posts. So when your post says 726 people reached or 13,422 people reached, that's how many people saw your post. Doesn't mean they read it. Doesn't mean that they clicked on it or anything like that. It just means that it came into their feed at some point. But the important thing to know is that it's not engagement versus reach so much as it is engagement equals reach. They are directly tied to each other. So when you put up a post on any social media network, the algorithm doesn't know how good it is. Instagram doesn't know that you took an amazing photo. LinkedIn doesn't know that the stuff you're saying is life-changing. Facebook doesn't know that you spent 37 hours making the perfect graphic in Canva. All the algorithm knows is whether or not someone engages with it. So when someone likes your post, the algorithm thinks, oh, okay, this might be okay content. When more people start liking it, commenting, sharing, the algorithm goes, oh, this is great content. I'm going to show this to more and more people. So that takes us back here. Engagement equals reach. The more engagement you get, the more people your posts will reach. So to romance the algorithm, you've got to get engagement. Let me get you started with a few of my favorite easy ways to increase your engagement today. People have started applying these and immediately seen results, which I love. And the first one is going to be super, super obvious. But a lot of times when somebody says, yeah, I just can't get any engagement, and I'll do an audit of their Instagram account or their Facebook business page or whatever it might be, I notice that they are not asking for engagement. Sometimes that's all it takes. You have to ask. Remember, somebody scrolling a social media feed is busy. They are, or even if they're, it's kind of an oxymoron, right? Well, if they were busy, they wouldn't have time to scroll a social media feed, but they're just scrolling through. Sometimes they're in line at the store. Sometimes they just have an extra 60 seconds. Other times they're trying to distract themselves. You have to ask. Nobody opens Facebook and goes, all right, who can I engage with right now? That's not the approach. So ask. Simple as that. Number 2 is to take a stance. This is one of my favorites, and I love it because it makes a massive difference. And I'll share an example here in just a second. But taking a stance means that you are more likely to get engagement because you're going to elicit a response in somebody else. Now, when we feel an emotion, we are more likely to comment on a post. If a post makes us feel something, and sometimes all that takes is taking a stance. I'm going to use a silly example, but if you posted, do you like pineapple on pizza? You might get a few people that would say, oh yeah, I like pineapple, or no, I don't like pineapple. That can be very polarizing for people. But if you said pineapple is the worst pizza topping of all time, fight me on this. Well, they either think, yes, it is, it's so awful, and they'll comment that, or they think, no, it's not, I love pineapple on pizza. What's wrong with you? But you took a stance. And it doesn't have to be frivolous like that. It could be about your product or your industry or any number of things. But when you take a stance on things, people will have an emotional reaction because they will either agree or disagree with you. All right. And as a blogger, you're probably taking a lot of opinions and stances, I would think for most of you anyway. And then the third one, comment on your own post. I love this one because it has exponentially increasing effects when it comes to engagement. I'll show you what I mean. So on this post, I said, for your business, did you design your own logo or hire someone else? My awkward answer below. And this was just an organic post. It got 117 comments. And when I asked this, I really didn't know that it was going to take off like this, but it did. But here's the principle here. You notice I said, my awkward answer below. So when you post this, I said, for your business, did you design your own logo or hire someone else? If somebody comes along and they don't have an answer right away, but they're like, oh, I wonder what his answer is. Oh, and it's awkward. They're going to click on that thing that says 117 comments. Then so when they do that, that counts as engagement because they clicked on it. Oh, okay, engagement. Then if they read my answer and they click like on it, that counts as engagement. If they then reply to my answer, that is also engagement. And if they're moved to then leave their own answer because I've given an example, that's more engagement. And if a bunch of people start commenting and then people start going through, even if they aren't going to post themselves, and they start liking other people's comments and replying to them, that's all engagement as well. So it really can snowball. But the best part about this is, just like nobody likes to be the first one to a party, generally nobody likes to be the first one to comment on a post. So by you commenting yourself, you have already gotten that out of the way.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited to try these strategies out. If you'd like to hear what other tips and strategies Jerry shared during the 2021 Blogger Breakthrough Summit, head over to bloggerbreakthrough.com/podcast deal, all one word, to find out how you can get access to all the summit sessions, including Jerry's. Catch you next time.